The doll business is dog eat dog, and Barbie has an appetite for total domination. Well, hello out there, you seekers of plastic camaraderie, and welcome to my channel where I sit and talk about dolls. Sometimes it's Barbie, sometimes it's Illy, sometimes it's Monster High, sometimes it's a Disney princess. You get the point. Must I carry on? Basically, if she's made of plastic and looking for a home, then she's welcome here. Because I make questionable financial decisions with dolls, but justify it by calling it content. My name is Daniel, and I am the Barbie book boy. Today, we will be manipulating the space-time continuum by making a trek back to simpler times, to a time of hairspray excess and MTV dreams, by discussing the totally rad but dubious origins of the Barbie and the Rockers 40th anniversary Barbie doll. So this glitzy little dame originally arrived on the scene back in 1986. And she's sort of legendary in doll lore because rumor has it that this doll was an attempt to sideline Hasbro and their upcoming release of Jim. Mattel fast-tracked this line and managed to hit the shelves before Hasbro. And for years, rumors have swirled as to how Mattel was actually able to beat them to market with these dolls. So people have long suspected corporate espionage, since both companies had factories pretty close to each other in Hong Kong. So this scandal is global. Now, of course, Mattel has vehemently denied these egregious doll allegations. But I mean, the fact that a plagiarism scandal even exists in the doll world is often kind of a shock to people who aren't in the know. It ain't all rainbows and magic color changing hair, people. The doll business is dog eat dog, and Barbie has an appetite for total domination. But you know what? That's their business. I don't presume to know how the titans of multi-billion-dollar corporations conduct their wars. I'm just a lowly consumer trying to make up for lost playtime since I wasn't allowed to have dolls as a kid. So I'm just gonna let Mattel and Hasbro duke it out from their respective ivory towers, while I sit here in my modest doll room restyling their hair. Anyway, the initial band lineup was 5 dolls. It was Barbie, Dana, Dee Dee, Diva, and Derek, with Ken joining the band later in 1987. Also in 1987, this line went on to have its own TV special. And Barbie and the Rockers made appearances at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade 2 consecutive years in a row. And it's sort of a tradition for me to rewatch both of their performances on YouTube every Thanksgiving, because they are good, solid, campy fun. Anyway, this line was a huge success. And now, 40 years later, this little repro diva has crash landed at my house. With her, Mattel also released a Dana and Dee Dee reproduction, so there's 3 total for this new wave. But at $60 a pop, I had to go with the lead singer on this one. I might eventually get the band back together for a reunion tour if the other 2 go on sale later this year. But for now, Barbie has gone solo. So this one's actually the second reproduction of that original 1986 doll. Mattel released one back in 2009 for the Barbie 50th anniversary. So it kind of seems like this little world tour of hers just won't quit. So would this be considered the encore to the encore? That's a lot of rocking out. Anyway, let's discuss, shall we? So for her solo tour, Barbie is rocking out in a black box, featuring an orange and yellow and pink laser light show to accompany her in concert. And apparently she's named this the 1986 tour. Not to be confused with a certain blonde female musical competitor from 1989. Wink, wink. So the laser show actually continues on around to the back of the box here, where we can see Barbie live on stage. We also get this blurb here of a Barbie bio. It's all about her massive rock stardom, which you can pause here and read for yourself if you want to, because it really is a rags to riches story for this small town girl turned international superstar. And you know what? That's as good as an introduction as there ever was. So without further ado, I'm going to step off camera and unbox her, and we will be right back. And here she is, the songbird herself. And right out the gate, we got to talk about this insane, mile-high, Dee Snider, Twisted Sister, 80s glam rock hair extravaganza. This hair is just basically a vehicle for Aquanet. Barbie really wanted to make sure that this hair could be seen from the nosebleed section without the aid of a jumbotron. I mean, look at this, it's insane. Now, she was in the box with a hairnet, so it's a little bit flat here in the back, but I'm gonna carefully try to like tease it up at some point, I guess. There we go. But giant diva hair wasn't enough for this girl. Our little show pony here went and jazzed it up even further with this purple headband bow and pink fringe, which you can see is just attached here with these little T-ties, those little plastic anchors. So, I mean, I guess it is removable, but you'd have to be very careful because it's like anchored in there. But I mean, really, you guys, talk about stage presence. Moving on. For this intrepid little starling, Mattel went with the Superstar face mold because, of course, she's a superstar. And her screening is so delightfully 80s, I almost went and threw on a pair of leg warmers myself. Except I just exist in a constant state of being uncomfortably hot as is, like all the time. So I resisted that urge. And even though I may not be a member of the Barbie and the Rockers, I do have my very own fan. Moving on. So this is a pretty spectacular stage makeup. She just has these blue and like silver colored geometrically shadowed eyes and a shimmery white eyeliner that really makes the blues of her eyes pop. And then she's got a simple pink glossy lip on her open mouth smile. So next, Barbie's got on these fantastic drop earrings that are basically the size of like glittery frosted windows. And I'm gonna try and show this to you, but they're layered like with this pink accent piece here. Oh, look. That could almost even pretend like to be a microphone. I just found that out. I mean, look, in the 80s, more was more. So the idea was to layer on these insanely gaudy styles and then go hit the stage, which takes us to her outfit. So she's got on this hot pink bedazzled blazer over this shimmery silver top. It's almost like she's wearing like a disco ball for a shirt. And hot pink glittery striped leggings stuffed into these white slouch boots with these little polka dots here on the little slouch part. So Barbie is mixing up her fabrics and her patterns and her textures, all for the sake of being as absolutely 80s as she possibly can. I mean, this is a quintessential 80s woman, right down to her layered purple bangle bracelets and this hot pink ring that doesn't, I mean, it's just like this weird little circular hollowed out ring. I don't really know what it's supposed to be, I guess. I don't know if there was supposed to be like a stone in there or something. At first I thought maybe there was like a stone in there that fell out inside my box, but then I went and checked the website and in all of the pictures, it's this little hollowed out ring. I mean, take a look at that and then if you guys can like tell me what that is, I don't know, sound out in the comments down below because I can't figure it out. Moving on. She also comes with a costume change. So let's take a brief intermission so Barbie can run backstage and change into her costume for the second half of her show. And we're back, and as you can see, Barbie has changed into her second look of the night. Barbie's got on this hot pink Rockers t-shirt that you can totally pick up at the merch stand in the lobby for like 15 bucks. Adjusted for inflation, that comes to approximately $44.51 in today's money. Oh, I forgot to mention her white microphone. So Barbie's got a white microphone because she absolutely sings live vocals in all of her concert shows. She wouldn't be caught dead lip syncing because she's an artist. The whole thing reads as early Madonna meets Twisted Sister with maybe just a dash of Cyndi Lauper thrown in there. Now, I don't have any personal firsthand memories of the original doll, or even really much of the 80s at all, because I would have been just a perfect little baby angel when this doll first came out. But I like to think that had I been fully formed at the time, her music would have touched me deeply. But I'll just have to settle for this reproduction to get my fix of manufactured nostalgia. So there you have it, my thoughts on the 2026 Barbie and the Rockers reproduction. A leading lady in 80s rock glamour supreme, who stepped on all the little people in her ascent to stardom and came out on top to be #1 on all the charts for 40 consecutive years in a row. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today as I liberated yet another plastic pal from her cardboard cage. I'm going to be doing these little doll review videos weekly, so if this is your thing, then stay tuned. Also, if you're into into books, be sure to check out my videos on book reviews. I am, after all, the Barbie, a book boy. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Leave a comment praising Barbie and the Rockers for her invaluable contribution to rock and roll music. Tell us all about your favorite Barbie performances. Are you going to rewatch her old Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade performances this year? Now, if you'll excuse us, I'm going to go make Barbie some honey tea for her throat because she's got to go on vocal rest for a while. Bye!